Hello, let's start with the third part of laws of motion, and here we are going to cover what do you mean by the distance time graph and the uniform motion, as well as whatever acceleration, force, gravity, whatever will be there, we'll be covering that. Okay, so let's start with the distance time graph with uniform motion. What do you mean by distance time graph with uniform motion? The time intervals or the interval between the distance or the time should be the same. So in that case, if you consider here that 10, 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70. Can you see there's a difference of 10 in all the seconds? But whereas if you see in distance, there is 0 to 15, 15 to 30, 30 to 45, 45 to 60. There's a 15, there's an interval of 15. So it is a uniform time that is being shown. The interval of time is uniform here. So in that case, if you have to plot a graph, the graph will always go like this. Okay. So here I can consider 0 is to 0, that is 0 x-axis, y-axis. Then on 10, just forget about this line here right now. Okay. So here, if you okay. So here, if you can see, if I can zoom. 0 here is for 15 distance, 15 meter. So each line here, if you want to understand how much is the unit of one line, you just have to divide 20, whatever the first number would be, with the 10 lines, because there are 10 lines. So 20 divided by 10, that is how much? That is 2. So in that case, each line represents 2. So here it will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. This is 10. Then this is 20, 30, 40. So each line represents 20, but here we have to mark 15. So here what will we do? After this 10, we have to go 2, 4 and 6. In between 4 and 6, we will mark. Are you understanding? I hope you are understanding. At 20, it is 30. So here, what will we do? Here, if you can see it in your book parallelly, 20, it is 30. So in that case, here we'll directly mark on this 30. Okay. I hope you get it. It is on 30. The line in the between of 20 and 40. Then next on 30, it is 45. So 45 means 42, 44 and 46 के बीच में यहाँ. Okay. Then on 40, it is 60. So here the direct line on the point, that is 60. I hope you are understanding. It is like this. It is like this. I hope you are understanding this. At 50, the line shows at 75. That is 70 is here. 75 means 72, 74 and in between here. I hope you are getting it. Please write it down in your books if it is not given to you all. Okay. Next one on 75 and then 90. It is 90. Okay. Oh, okay. So on 60, it is 90. So if I go on 60 directly here, the mid one, that is 90. And then on 70, it is 105. So it will be 0, 105. So it will be 102, 104 and in between here. I hope you understand. And then the straight line, just avoid my line because it is not accurate. Don't do this curve. Okay. So here, this is how you have to represent the graph. Okay. I hope you have understood this graph. And now we are going to understand how do we have to actually go about with the other graphs. Before that, this is the time interval. If the time interval is same, then always represent the graph like this. This is always accelerating graph. This is a positive graph that we have already learned. So please make sure that you understand this. An uniform object motion covers an equal distance in an equal interval of time. Thus, the graph between the distance and the time is a straight line. Can you see that? This is a straight line. Okay. Now, here it is not forming. This is a non-uniform graph. Can you see this? This is a non-uniform graph. This you have to draw it by yourself. It is very simple and very easy. You just have to look at the time difference. Here you can see 5 ka time difference. That is a time interval that has to be same. So here you will write 5, 10, 20, 30, 25 and all that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and XYZ till 35. Okay. But here for the distance, you have to see what is the majority amount that is coming. So you can go with 5, 10, 15, 20 till 60. Okay, keep the interval of time as 5, 10, 20, 15, 20, 25 and go on till 60. Okay, take it till 60. So you will be getting last point as 58 and then you can just draw the dots and then accumulate in the line. So you will see that there is a disorder of line that you can do, that you will see. It will be a straight line, but it will have some upper niche. If you see here, no, it will have some ups and downs in it. Okay, I hope you get it. So that is about non-uniform time. Now velocity and time graph. Acha, remember now this is difference. This is a distance time graph. Distance time graph, always remember it is a straight line is always like this for distance time graph. But for velocity time graph, the straight line will always be like this. I hope you understand this. The velocity of the time graph for a uniform velocity बोला गया. Uniform velocity मतलब क्या? एक ही velocity है. Velocity मतलब क्या? Speed. एक ही speed से चल रहे हैं हम. अगर एक ही speed से चल रहे हैं, so that will be what? The velocity time graph will be uniform. Can you see this? If the train is moving at 60 speed, whatever the time period it will be 60 only. However hours it will be, how much ever it will be 60. So can you see that there is a straight line that is being formed? Avoid my straight line because it is non-uniform. Okay, I hope you have understood this velocity and distance ka difference, distance time graph and velocity time graph. Okay, now here it is told about velocity time graph for a uniform acceleration. It is not uniform motion or uniform velocity. Here it was for uniform motion, non-uniform motion. Here it was for uniform velocity. Velocity is not being changed. Can you see velocity is the same? So that is why the graph is like this, stagnant. Okay, but here it is for uniform acceleration. What do you mean by uniform acceleration? Means that the rate of change of time, that is called as acceleration. We have already studied in the last video, that is the rate of change of velocity is called as C. The rate of change of velocity is called as the acceleration. I hope you have understood this acceleration, and that is what we are doing here. So it is 0, 5, 10. This time interval is clear. Here also the time interval in the velocity, because velocity has to change, because acceleration means what? Rate of change of velocity. So there is a word change of velocity, means the velocity has to change. So it is changing by a equal interval of time, by 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, difference of 8 everywhere. So it will be a uniform acceleration. So when time and velocity time graph with uniform acceleration, means the acceleration is not changing. Let me give you a small understanding here. Let me take 10 and 16 and 5 and 8. Okay. So if you understand by this means, what is the formula? It is acceleration equals to v minus u upon t. Okay, so what is A is equals to 16 minus 8 upon 5 minus 10 is 5. Okay, that is how much? 8 upon 5. Let me take it for this one. 40 and 48. Okay. So 48 minus 40 upon, what is the time interval? 30 minus 25. What is the difference? It will be 48 minus 40 upon 5. And what is the difference here? So it will be 8 upon 5. What is this? This is acceleration. What is this? This is acceleration. So the symbol for it will be meter per second square. Meter per second square. I hope you understand this. Both are same. Means uniform acceleration. If there is a uniform acceleration, the graph will go like this. Okay, in a straight line like this. I hope you all have understood this. Let's move on to the reading part here. Okay. So here it says that velocity time graph is shown in 1.8. Okay. The velocity changes by equal amounts of equal interval of time. Agreed. Equal amount, 8 का difference, 8 का difference, 8 का difference, 8 का difference. So it is an interval of time that is also 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 difference. That is clear. That is an equal interval and equal changes. That is agreed. Thus, the uniform acceleration is accelerated in motion. Absolutely correct. That is why there is a uniform acceleration. Now, how does the velocity change every 5 minutes? For all uniformly accelerated motions, the velocity time graph is a straight line. Very, very, very important here. The straight line is like this. Oh. So here the straight line goes like this. Are you understanding? But for velocity, when uniform velocity is given, that time the straight line is like this. When it is distance time graph and the distance and the speed is correct and it is the equal interval of distance, then that time the straight line goes like this. I hope you have understood. I will give you a quick recap. Don't worry on this. Now here, what is the most important point they are saying? Whenever there is a uniformly accelerated motion, कभी भी uniform acceleration आया, मतलब वहां पर velocity time graph will be straight. I hope you are understanding. This just represents that whenever there is a equal acceleration, the velocity time graph will be like this. I hope you have understood this. Please make sure that you mark this and write or draw this besides your diagram, the sentence, sorry. For non-uniform accelerated motion, means there is no uniform acceleration, the velocity time graph may have any shape depending on how the acceleration changes with time. I hope you understand this. Either if there is no uniform acceleration, there is no acceleration in motion, there is no specific interval of acceleration. इधर ये specific था 8/5, 8/5, 8/5 for each and everything, but वहां पर 8/5 नहीं है या कोई भी अलग अलग interval आ रहा है. Means एक में आ रहा है 3/2, दूसरे में आ रहा है 4/5, तीसरे में आ रहा है 5/6. Whatever it is, कोई uniformity नहीं है अगर acceleration में. तो क्या होगा, वो कुछ भी शेप ले सकता है, इधर पैराबोलिक, सिंबॉलिक, व्हाटएवर, कैसा भी शेप आ सकता है. एनीथिंग, एनी शेप कैन कम. Okay, so however it is, we cannot say a specific shape for it, but ये कोई भी shape में हो सकता है. From the graph 1.8, we are determined that the distance covered by the car between the 10th and the 20th second, as we did in the case of the train in the previous example, the difference in the velocity of the car is not constant, unlike that of the train. Of course, there the velocity had been kept constant at 60 किलोमीटर per hour. यहाँ पर कार है, यहाँ पर कोई कार में velocity को same नहीं रखा, velocity is changing. Can you see there is a change? The velocity is changing. It is from 8 to 16, 16 to 24, 24 to 32, and it is continuously changing. But for the train, it was 60 kilometer per hour constant. So please make sure underline this for any second. यहाँ पर तो train और car का अगर उन लोग ने कंक्लूजन निकाला भी, सो ट्रेन इज कांस्टेंट बट कार इज नॉट कीपिंग कांस्टेंट विद वेलोसिटी. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. अगर नहीं समझा प्लीज आस्क. But is continuously changing uniform acceleration. Sorry, continuously changing because of the uniform acceleration. Here, what they say is the difference in the velocity of the car is not constant, but continuously changing because of the uniform acceleration. एक्सेलरेशन एक चीज यूनिफॉर्म है, उसकी वजह से दूसरा चीज को हम लोग चेंज कर सकते हैं. बट अगर दोनों ही चीज नॉन यूनिफॉर्म है तो हम लोग कुछ चेंज कर, मतलब देर इज गोइंग टू बी अ चेंज. वी कैन नॉट कीप एनीथिंग कांस्टेंट. In the case, we have used the average velocity of the car in the given time interval to determine the distance covered in the interval. Okay, so from the graph, we can find it out that the average velocity of the car at the 10th second. Let me erase this all. Okay, so they are saying at the 10th second and the 20th second, here, this and this, that is 32 and 16. Okay, they are taking the average velocity. Average velocity means what? They're adding up the distance, oh sorry, the velocity. The average को कैसे लेते हैं हम लोग? कोई भी दो वैल्यू, दो तीन वैल्यू, जितनी भी वैल्यू रहेगी, डिवाइड बाय द नंबर ऑफ द वैल्यू. If there are 4 values, divide by 4. If there are 3 values, divide by 3. Same like that. If there are 2 values है तो divide by 2. So when we add these two values, we will get some that is 48 we'll get, and we'll get 24 meter per second as the average velocity. Make sure you understand this. Okay, distance covered, we have to find now the distance. What is the distance covered in 10 seconds? What do you have to find in 10 seconds? How much is the distance covered? So what will we do? We will just multiply the average velocity into the times, that is the 10 seconds, that will get the answer as 240 meter. I hope you all are you have understood this. Okay, check that similar to the example of the train, the distance covered in the given is given by the area of a quadriangle. Quadriangle, if you have heard about quadrilateral, then you might have understood about this area, the funda of this area. So it is what? It is the area of the square plus area of the triangle. It's the area of the square plus the area of the triangle. So area of the square is side square plus half into base into height. ये तो पढ़ा ही हो, नहीं पढ़ा तो write it there down. ओके, सो जब ये हम लोग एड ऑन करते हैं, अगर ये पूरा एड ऑन करते तो इट बिकम्स अ क्वाड्री एंगल, एरिया ऑफ अ क्वाड्री एंगल. I hope you have understood this. This is a very important the formula I can say. So please note it down. Okay. Yeah.
Before I start with the new part of the textbook, I want you to all understand what is Newton's law of motion. First, what do you mean by force and what do you mean by motion of work and the Newton's laws which he had described. So I want you all to understand that first. So before we start, let me just tell you that there are three laws of Newton's. Newton has three laws, that is first law, second law, and third law. You have to learn this by heart and it will go 5 times in your notebook as your homework. You have to write it 5 times. All the laws you have to pause and write it 5 times. I hope it is clear to you. Now moving to the next one, here we are going to learn about force first. The relationship between the force and the motion. What is the relation between a motion and a force? Force is exactly, you can say, a push or a pull towards yourself, or you are pushing an object, or anyone is pushing an object, or due to some object or the other object is being pushed or pulled, is called that the object has been applying some force. So I hope this thing is very clear to you all. What do you mean by force and what is the end result of it? It is often a result of interaction between two objects. There is definitely an interaction, then only the force will be applied. Without any interaction, there will be no force. An object moves free object free to move while move will move once acted upon the force. Okay, an object free to move will move once acted upon the force means what? एक ऑब्जेक्ट जो सस्पेंडेड है उसके ऊपर जब एक दूसरा पुश या पुल आ रहा है तो वो इजीली मूव करेगा. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फोर्स. दैट इज व्हाट दे आर टेलिंग. ओके. Now, motion. What do you mean by motion and how does it affect in the different parts of the acceleration, velocity, inertia, and all that? So, an object free to move will move once acted upon a force. That is force. जब भी एक फोर्स एक्ट होगा वो ऑब्जेक्ट पे तभी वो मूव करेगा. Now, motion is being divided into three parts, two parts actually, inertia and velocity, and then velocity is then divided into acceleration. As such, if you can see here in inertia, it is an object resistance to changing its motion. Means inertia is nothing but the internal energy that the capacity of the object to hold itself. Resistance means to hold itself. Okay, to hold itself at the same position until there is no force. Means मैं अगर एक जगह पे खड़ी हूं जब तक मुझे कोई पुश या पुल नहीं आता, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज माई इनर्शिया. Or a apple is kept at a side until and unless we don't pick it up and take it to ourselves, तब तक जो उसके अंदर जो energy motion है, that is the inertia. Means it is acting on that object is so that it is moving on. It is not moving. It is at the same place. It is at rest. So it is the resistance, the object's resistance to changing the motion. Means resistance मतलब against. Always remember resistance means against. तो against to the changing of motion. कोई भी resistance क्या होगा इसका? जो वो एप्पल है वो ऐसे का ऐसा पड़ा है, दैट इज द रेजिस्टेंट कि वो ऐसे के ऐसे ही पड़ा रह सकता है. दैट इज इट्स कैपेसिटी. ओके. So now the velocity. What do you mean by velocity? We always know that the speed and the direction of any object in motion is called as the velocity. Any speed of an object जो भी motion में जा रहा है उसको क्या बोलेंगे हम लोग? Velocity. And due to that velocity there is an acceleration. So acceleration is what? The rate of change of velocity. Any velocity that is changing in the particular rate of time is called as acceleration. I hope that is clear. Now, Isaac Newton, the Mahan scientist, we can say, Isaac Newton had some ideas. Apart from gravity, Newton also explained how to balance forces affect an object's movement. कोई भी movement of an object हो रहा है, तो how will that affect the balance forces? So he said that when the forces are balanced, the object will remain in the state of motion. अगर ऑब्जेक्ट दोनों साइड से उसके फोर्सेस जो भी है वो अगर बैलेंस्ड रहेंगे तो व्हाट विल हैपन? द ऑब्जेक्ट विल स्टे इन मोशन. वही मोशन में वो कंटिन्यू करेगा इधर एट रेस्ट और इन कांस्टेंट मोशन. ओके. सो इफ आई से द एयर एंड द ग्रेविटी both are the forces. We know that very well. Gravity is also a force and air resistance is also a force. एक एयर से भी फोर्स आता है. तो ऊपर से और नीचे से अगर फोर्स इक्वल इक्वल है मतलब बैलेंस्ड है तो वो जो ऑब्जेक्ट मूव हो रहा है वही स्ट्रेट पाथ में मूव हो सकता है. आई होप माई पॉइंट इज वेरी क्लियर. इफ नॉट प्लीज रिवाइंड एंड चेक अगेन. अगर ऑब्जेक्ट इज हैविंग सम पर्टिकुलर मोशन एंड ऊपर से और नीचे से या साइड से दोनों साइड से बैलेंस्ड फोर्सेस है मतलब इट विल मूव इन द सेम पर्टिकुलर पाथ. आई होप इट इज क्लियर. बट वेन द फोर्सेस आर अनबैलेंस्ड, जब भी फोर्सेस अनबैलेंस हो जाते हैं मीन्स ऊपर ज्यादा है नीचे कम है या साइड में ज्यादा है बट ये साइड कम है, दैट मीन्स अनबैलेंस्ड. द ऑब्जेक्ट विल इधर स्पीड अप और स्लो डाउन. इधर पीछे से मैं पुश दे रही हूँ मतलब वो आगे स्पीड अप करेगा बट पीछे स्लो हो जाएगा. I hope that is clear to you all. So it is what? Either they will speed up or have a will slow down और चेंज द डायरेक्शन. अगर कोई भी मूवमेंट में भी चेंज आ रहा है तो वो डायरेक्शन या तो फिर चेंज कर लेगा अगर अनबैलेंस्ड फोर्स है तो. और अगर बैलेंस्ड फोर्सेस रहेंगे तो इधर इट विल रिमेन एट रेस्ट वट एवर इट इज एंड और इट विल मूव इन द कॉन्स्टेंट मोशन जो भी मोशन में वो मूव हो रहा है उसमें. आई होप इट इज क्लियर टू यू. But what about the other factors such as friction and air resistance? As I explained, the air resistance and the gravity. फ्रिक्शन इज अनदर फैक्टर जो अफेक्ट करता है. फ्रिक्शन अगर तुमने देखा रहेगा तो दो जगह पे यहाँ पर ग्लाइड होना. दिस इज व्हाट फ्रिक्शन. दिस इज व्हाट आई एम डूइंग राइट नाउ इज फ्रिक्शन. ओके. So he further developed his ideas into what we know now as laws of motion. Now we know it as laws of motion. So it is very, very important. This will go 5 times in your notebook. Please make sure your eyes are on the screen. Newton's first law of motion, the law of inertia. Object in motion will stay in motion, and object at rest will stay at rest until acted upon and by an unbalanced force. What do you mean by unbalanced force? मतलब एक साइड से पुश हो रहा है या पुल हो रहा है, कोई भी जगह से, सिर्फ एक ही साइड से, नॉट द अदर साइड. इफ अदर साइड से होता तो इट इज बैलेंस्ड, बट एक ही साइड से हो रहा है, दैट इज वाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज अनबैलेंस्ड फोर्स. सो नाउ हियर, कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट रेस्ट पे है तो वो रेस्ट पे ही रहेगा, और कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट जो मोशन में है वो मोशन में ही रहेगा अनटिल उसके पास अनबैलेंस्ड फोर्स आता नहीं है. एक एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पर दिया है, द लॉ ऑफ इनर्शिया. द गोल्फ बॉल विल रिमेन ऑन द ग्राउंड अंटिल द गोल्फर हिट्स इट. अगर जब तक वो पीछे से उसको हिट नहीं करते हैं, जब तक उसको पुश नहीं आता, तब तक वो जो गोल्फ बॉल है वो वहां का वहां ही रहेगा. आई टोल्ड यू, इट इज द कैपेसिटी ऑफ द बॉडी और द ऑब्जेक्ट टू रिटेन इट सेल्फ, टू रेजिस्टेंस टूवर्ड्स इट, okay, to whatever is coming. Okay, so inertia is nothing but the capacity to either move in the same direction or remain at rest. I hope it is understood. Inertia का मतलब समझ के लिख लो साइड में. What do you mean by inertia? It is the capacity to hold the body at rest or in the same continuous motion. I hope the inertia word is clear and laws of inertia is clear. This is the first law of motion. Now comes the second law of motion. This is very, 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 very important because this is there in your first chapter. So make sure you pay attention very well here. The law of acceleration. It is also called as law of acceleration. The acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the amount of the force applied. Means क्या फोर्स जो भी अप्लाई हो रहा है वो किस पे डिपेंड करेगा? वो ऑब्जेक्ट का मास और उसका एक्सेलरेशन के ऊपर. सिंपल है. फोर्स का फॉर्मूला जो रहता है, दिस इज अ बेसिक फॉर्मूला ऑफ फोर्स, यू शुड नो दैट. फोर्स इज इक्वल्स टू मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन. प्लीज राइट इट डाउन. फोर्स इज इक्वल्स टू मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन. I hope it is clear to you all. It is force is equals to mass into acceleration. Now, kg, this is kg, this is मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. जब हम मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं तो विल कीप इट बोथ टुगेदर, so it will become what? kg meter per second square. Okay, so now we cannot write the whole thing like this. We can write it, but when Newton came, he said, why to write about someone else's? Write my name only. So he did what? He replaced this whole unit by saying it as N, that is Newton. So force is always measured in Newton. It is always measured in newtons. Okay, so whenever there is a unit, if force comes, you should always remember it is N. The unit is N. So wherever force comes, you should know it is N. I hope it is clear. This formula is very, very important. Means what? The acceleration of any object. कोई भी object के ऊपर acceleration हो रहा है तो वो किस पे डिपेंड करेगा? उसके मास और उसके फोर्स के ऊपर. कितना फोर्स अप्लाई किया है और कितना वो बॉडी का मास है, फिर ही वो एक्सेलरेट करेगा, आगे जाएगा. मतलब एक्सेलरेशन अगर हम प्रेस कर रहे हैं, गाड़ी में भी, स्कूटर में भी अगर हम प्रेस कर रहे हैं, so what will it depend? On the mass of the object and the vehicle, and then कितना फोर्स हम उसको एक्सेलरेट कर रहे हैं. दिस इज द फोर्स दैट वी आर अप्लाइंग एंड देन इट विल एक्सेलरेट. सो दिस इज द सेकेंड लॉ ऑफ मोशन. आई होप इट इज क्लियर फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. सो फोर्स विल ऑलवेज बी इन न्यूटन एंड मास इज ऑलवेज इन केजी. अच्छा, दो अलग अलग कॉन्सेप्ट है. आई नीड टू एक्सप्लेन दैट. गिव मी अ मोमेंट. Okay, if you can see it on the screen here, I have described force is equals to mass into acceleration. Unit will be N, that is Newton. Now here, this is a complete new topic for you, mass and weight. We say the mass of that, we say the weight of the person is 70 kg. If we look at someone, we say it is 70 kg. But that 70 kg is absolutely wrong if we say it is the weight of the object. अगर ये वेट है ऐसा बोल रहे हैं तो वो कंप्लीटली रॉन्ग है, बिकॉज इट इज द मास ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट. You will learn this why it is weight and mass in the 10th standard. But before that only I want to explain you. Mass is the internal material, internal particles, whatever are present inside you. That is what mass depends on. But one weight depends on the mass of the object ऑन द पर्टिकुलर प्लैनेट. मतलब जितना भी मास तुम्हारे अंदर है, मतलब जितना भी तुम्हारे अंदर जितने भी पार्टिकल है, दैट इज व्हाट यू आर गेटिंग. सो नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन यू वे योर मास, व्हेन यू वे योर वे on the weighing scale, if you weigh your mass, it is not weight. Always remember this, please. You always say I am 50 kg. I have a mass of 50 kg. I don't waste, I don't, my weight is not 70 kg or 50 kg. ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते हम अभी. Next time से whenever you say it as mass. मेरा, I have a mass of 70 kg. You never say weight. Okay, weight cannot be said here. So please make sure that you make a point of this. Mass कोई भी जगह पे जाओगे. If you're on moon, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, wherever you are on Earth, it will always remain same. If it is 70 kg, it will remain 70 kg only. But weight will change. On Earth, weight will be जो भी तुम्हारा mass है, whatever the mass will be there, multiplied by 10 Newton on Earth. Please make sure that on earth it is 10 newton multiplied by 10 newton, but on moon it will be 1/6 of it. Whatever जो भी weight है उसका 1/6 multiplied by 1/6, that is on moon. That is why you can jump on moon, whereas you cannot jump on earth. You can, but you are on ground level only over there. ठीक है. अभी अर्थ पे दिस इज द concept, and SI unit of weight is Newton. Means force is nothing but weight. You are going to learn this in the next chapter itself. So before that only, I'm giving you this example here and making you understand this. Okay. So mass will always be in kg and weight will always be in Newton. I hope this point is clear to you. Okay. So now I guess you might have understood what do you mean by Newton's second law of motion, that is the law of acceleration. Acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the amount of the force applied, that is force is equals to ma, mass into acceleration. This is very very important, so make sure you understand this. Now here if anybody is pushing this car, or it has an accelerator here at the start, so here what will happen? The car will accelerate forward since the force due to the engine is greater than the friction on the road. We are putting more force on the accelerator. Are you getting my point? We are putting more force and on the accelerator, which will then help the the car to move. Okay? So please understand what am I explaining you here. Please make sure that you understand this. Means if there is a car here, a toy car here, and a boy is pushing the toy car from behind, means the force is being applied to the object with a mass, a total amount of mass with the boy's weight, that is the mass. Okay, so here the mass is also being applied as well as the force is being applied. Then the car will move ahead. Are you understanding my point? Then the car will accelerate ahead. So that is how law of acceleration works. So here in the same way, when you press the accelerator, when you apply the mass on it, and when you apply the force on it, the engine starts to accelerate, and then you can move forward. I hope these points are clear to you all. Moving to the next last law, that is the third law before we wrap up. Very easy. We always say this. Every action has an equal and an opposite reaction. So here this is the third law of motion, that is the law of action and reaction. Every action force has a reaction force that is equal in the size and opposite in direction. Okay, you can write here, please write, instead of writing a whole complicated sentence, you write has every action has a equal and an opposite reaction. Simple. Every action has a equal and an opposite reaction. मीन्स अगर मैं यहाँ पर अप्लाई कर रही हूँ कुछ फोर्स टू द डाउनवर्ड्स, the fire here, the engine here, the rocket here is getting exerting some pressure towards the downwards, and because of this downwards force it can move ahead upwards. Can you understand this? It is pushing itself downwards and it is moving upwards, means it is showing some reaction, and due to which there is an opposite reaction. Can you see that the rocket is moving upwards? Same way, on the rocket launch, the shuttle exerts downwards force and the reaction force is the same size pushed in it upwards. जो reaction जो है हमारा वो same force से लगेगा, that is why the rocket will move upwards. I hope this all points are clear to you all, and it's a wrap up here. The force and the motion are related because the motion is a result of force. The motion of an object depends on the balance of the force acting on it, and Newton has three laws that will go 5 times in your notebook, and you have to learn this by heart. Okay, so I'm ending this here. Next class we are going to do the equations for velocity, speed, and acceleration and everything. So we are going to cover that in the next class. Thank you. Bye bye.